Welcome to Tales from the Switch Vault, where I, Jim, look back at some of the weird and wonderful games from the Nintendo Switch. This time, I shout over everyone else in Overcooked. Released on PlayStation and Xbox and PC in August 2016, it made its Nintendo Switch debut a year later in July 2017. The debut title from British indie team Ghost Town Games and was published by the renowned Team 17. It was an ideal local co-op game to turn up in the Switch's early days with the dual controllers straight out of the box. The game's premise is simple. Working together, you must use ingredients to prepare dishes for customers in a variety of restaurant layouts. You're against the clock and at times against the kitchen environment itself. Dishes will be called out at the top of the screen and you have a limited amount of time to get it done and passed out to the diner. You earn points for each correct meal and get -1s for the wrong ones. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly chaotic in practice, and this is where the fun is. For instance, in the first level proper, you have to make onion soup. Grab an onion, chop it up, and then throw it in the pot. Do it twice more and the cooking bar timer will fill out to show it's complete with onion soup. You add this to a bowl and then place it on the serving conveyor. Easy, right? Well, not at all. Depending on how many of you are playing, which is up to 4, it's designed to be incredibly hard to divide up all the tasks. One person could be moving onions to the counter and another one chopping them, but then who is keeping an eye on the pot so it doesn't burst into flames? This naturally leads to arguments, but shouting at one another is all part of the fun, particularly in the campaign, which makes up most of the game. With each level, you have to hit a score high enough to earn up to 3 stars. Get enough stars and new levels unlock on the world map. It's a well-trodden formula and works just fine here. The menus ramp up from just simple soup to burgers and others, with a variety of ingredients. For instance, the burger will sometimes need all the trimmings of lettuce and tomatoes, others completely without. Screwing up a dish costs time and must be thrown away. It's not possible to remove any of the ingredients when they're being placed. Having this randomized element in each level keeps the variety, particularly when you're having to replay levels to hit that 3 stars. The game supports up to 4 players, which is fantastic and is ideal for couch co-op. In fact, it's local multiplayer only. It's a shame that you can't play online, but the studio was limited on scope for this and was eventually resolved in the sequel game. It's a very colourful title, really well designed. The ingredients in particular stand out, which is incredibly useful in the game where getting the right ones immediately is crucial. Each restaurant is very distinct, although they're only labelled by level number and not a title. I like the overworld used in the campaigns, driving a van around the world map and selecting levels. Great to visually see which levels you still need to get 3 stars on. The base game has a nice variety of characters to pick from, with even the wheelchair-using raccoon. It's a small pool, though more characters were added in the DLCs and these all come in the overall package. Shoutouts to the kitchen table title menu screen, which is very cute. The music comes from a variety of composers. The main theme is iconic and I still tighten up when I hear it, ready to battle in the kitchen. It's upbeat and busy, which is exactly what you need in a game like this. You are forced to focus so much and communicate with other players you barely register the music. It's still good though not the main highlight here. What keeps this game interesting and something we return to again and again are the level designs. Testing yourself against the different restaurant mechanics maximizes the simple cooking formula used here. Take for instance level 2-1, which is a kitchen on the back of 2 vans on a road. They start out close together and then veer apart at times, trapping the player and food. Time it right and you feel like a hero, but more likely chucking your controller in disgust at the unfairness of it all. Even 1-2 with the kitchen divided by a zebra crossing and a bunch of pedestrians getting in your way is a lot of fun. This pushback on the players is crucial to making this a great game. What makes this title unique is this weird cooperative and competitive formula. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it's the special sauce in this game. First time players will eventually get that they need to discuss each time who does what to avoid doubling up on tasks and missing out on others. Even having discussed this and having a clear plan to work together, you still go in competing for items or space. It feels so strange, weird but good. The dash button really adds to this as well, giving you a quick speed boost but bashing your fellow players out of the way. Really adds into the darker side of this formula. You start out working together and eventually it will descend into chaos and you competing. It always happens. Even Mario Party doesn't have this element. You either work together or against. Overcooked's formula has been copied a lot since, but none to the same success in my opinion. The Special Edition contains the Last Morsel and Festive Seasoning DLCs, which bring 2 new world maps, 14 levels and new chefs to play as. The latter even adds a flamethrower for cooking, which causes no problems at all. Playing through the main campaign comes in at about 8 hours long, but as we have found with a multiplayer favourite, we get tens of hours out of this. Even just getting 3 stars in every level adds to the game time. It's often on sale and for the pool package it's a great pickup. And for those that really love the formula but don't have many friends, you can play single player, swapping between characters and leaving the former to chop or wash up as they go. Ghost Town Games is based in Cambridge, England and is made up of 3 people. Originally formed in 2015 with Phil Duncan and Ollie Devine, who worked together at Frontier Developments, best known for Elite Dangerous and Pallet Coaster. Together they wanted to make a co-op game from the ground up and not just one tacked on at the end, finalising on a kitchen setting from Duncan's previous work experience in the hospitality industry and knowing that they wanted more tasks than chefs to get up the difficulty. The idea worked, though a 2-person team who shared a desk had great difficulty in testing out a 4-player game. This was solved by taking the game around to various gaming conventions to get people to play and give it feedback, often fixing or changing stuff on the fly. With the support of Team 17 publishing and providing help, they managed to get Overcooked out. Following that release, Gemma Langford soon joined the team to work on Overcooked 2 and the newly announced Stage Fright. Nominated for the Best Multiplayer Game at the Game Awards, it won Best Debut Game at TIGA Game Industry Awards and both British and Family Game at the BAFTA Game Awards. Scoring a respectable 77 on Metacritic, it actually went on to sell over 500,000 copies on Switch alone, which is a huge achievement. Overcooked, or Choppy Choppy as it's known in our house, is the second go-to multiplayer game after Mario Party. It's that popular for us, our friends and family. The Lasetta incident still gets talked about, screaming for giant mushrooms and then quitting the game soon after. Fun times. Don't get me wrong, the game is fantastic, though I do have a fair few complaints. The level design on a couple of stages is somewhat busted, causing endless frustration. For the most part, pushing back against this friction is fun, but it's so broken in some levels that I just don't want to play anymore after a while. If you mess up your timings with some of the more complicated dishes, you'll know long before the end of the time runs out that's not even worth trying anymore. I don't know how you fix this beyond restarting quickly. Also, the D-pad doesn't work with menu navigation, which personally I find very annoying. With hindsight, the game is a little limited across the board, but it's astounding that they managed to make this as their very first title. It's understandable that certain areas have to be reduced. They absolutely nailed the key formula, and that's key. They go on to build on this title with new heights with Overcooked 2 or the complete package of Overcooked All You Can Eat. For those that have local multiplayer evenings still, this is a must add to the rotation, you won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for weekly Nintendo Switch video and essays, and comment below which multiplayer game makes you shout the most. Right, time for one more Lasetta.